Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the top stories of the hour. Opposition front to hold meeting today as well. Preparations underway for strategy against the government that it dubs authoritarian. Use of electric vehicles in public transportation below expectation despite tax exemptions. Inadequate charging stations attributed as one of the reasons. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu delays cabinet vote to approve the Gaza ceasefire deal, accusing Hamas of seeking last-minute changes to the agreement. And the first edition of Nepal Kabaddi League beginning from today in Kathmandu. Kathmandu Mavericks to play against Pokhara Lakers in the inaugural match. Opposition parties have called for a meeting today to finalize strategies against the government that it suggests has been showing autocratic tendencies. The meeting has been called for 2 p.m. today at the office of Chairperson of Main Opposition CPN Maoist Centre, Pushpa Kamal Dahal in New Baneshwar. The meeting is to dwell on the country's political scenario since the government's introduction of ordinances. The opposition front is to finalize its demands to the government. The House Secretariat has said a press conference would be organized at the Lotse Hall of the Parliament building at 3 p.m. after the meeting of the opposition parties. The previous meeting held in Maoist Centre's Parliamentary Party office in Singhadarwar was attended by Rashtriya Swatantra Party, CPN Unified Socialist, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, Nepal Samajwadi, Aam Janata Party, among others. The meeting had decided to assign Maoist leader Barshaman Pun and Unified Socialist leader Beduram Phusal the responsibility of preparing a draft of the opposition front's strategy. The opposition parties have been alleging the government of delaying winter session of the parliament and of bypassing the government with ordinances, among others. Families of Bipin, a Nepali national held hostage by Hamas since October 7, 2023, are delighted and hopeful since a ceasefire deal was reached between the battling sides. They have urged the government for efforts to ensure his earliest release.
Bipin Joshi, a Nepali student from Kantipur, is among the 94 hostages currently held by the Hamas group. The January 15th agreement between the warring sides for a ceasefire has given some hope to Bipin's family. But with hopes comes the anxiety that the possibility of Bipin's release might not happen in the first phase. According to the agreement between Israel and Hamas, 33 hostages will be released in the first phase, which will include children, women, soldiers, civilians, and individuals over the age of 50.
Bipin Hamasको बन्दकमा भएको 15 महिना भन्दा बढी भइसक्यो र हिजोको हामी समाचारले हामी हिजो युद्धविरामको समाचारले हामीमा के आशा पलाएको छ कि नेपाल सरकारले अलि सम्बन्धित देशहरुसँग बढी पहल गरेर बिपिनलाई छुट रिहा गराइदिनु हुने आशा छ.
Bipin's family say his release could not take place last year during a brief ceasefire because of lack of diplomatic efforts from Nepal. However, now that there is a ceasefire between the two sides, Bipin's mother has urged the government not to let this opportunity go to waste.
इजरायली मात्र छोड्ने भनिराखेका छन् र अब जुन देशले पहल गरेका छन् तीन देशका नागरिक छुट्न सक्ने हुन्. त्यसकारणले प्लिज सरकारलाई मेरो आग्रह छ कि प्लिज यो मौका यो चान्स नगुमाइदिनु होला. प्लिज मेरो छोरा बिपिनलाई जसरी पनि रिहाई गरिदिनु होला.
Foreign Minister Arju Rana has talked and corresponded with concerned ministers and diplomats of Israel as well as Foreign State Minister of Qatar to ensure Bipin's release. As the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is to come into effect, the whole nation and especially family of Bipin Joshi are waiting with bated breaths for his release.
Meanwhile, CPN UML Chair and Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and main opposition CPN Maoist Centre's Chair Pushpa Kamal Dahal have both engaged in verbal volleys regarding the current government's life since the beginning. As the debate between the two has only escalated with time, questions are rife among the bureaucracy and the general public if the government is to fall soon.
यो सरकार परिवर्तन गर्न सक्छु भन्ने एउटा विशाल नदीका किनारमा बसेर यता ढुङ्गा टिप्दै फ्याक्दै के गरेको भन्दा यो नदी थुन्दिन खोज्या भन्ने बेगारको काम हो.
गम्भीर रूपले पार्लियामेन्टमा पनि बाहिर पनि भनेको तपाईहरुले सुन्नु भएकै छ. अप्राकृतिक भएको हुनाले अब यो चल्दैन।
Premier Oli and Dahal's statements as such have become more regular in recent time. The former has repeatedly highlighted on his tenure, while the latter has continued to predict the government's life.
आजै ढल्छ भरे नै ढल्छ बिहान ढलेन हेर है चराक 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 गर्दैछ ढल्ल ढल्ल लाग्यो ढल्ल ढल्ल बाङ्गो भइसक्यो है सरकार दिउँसोसम्ममा ढल्छ दिउँसो के भएर रोक्यो हावा कम चल्यो कि क्या हो बेलुकासम्ममा ढल्छ भन्नेहरू
Along with the Prime Minister, incumbent ministers have also been defending the government's term, while Dahal has been repeatedly calling the ruling partnership unnatural and short-lived. Political analysts meanwhile say statements like these have added pessimism among the general public and also affected the bureaucracy.
सरकारहरु संख्याले स्थिर बन्ने तर भावले अस्थिरता झल्किने खालका अभिव्यक्तिहरु आउँदै गर्दाखेरि समग्र सत्ता सञ्चालन र दैनन्दिन गतिविधिमा नकारात्मक प्रभाव पर्ने देखिन्छ। एक त नियमित रूपमा काम कारबाही हुने कार्य सम्पादन हुने क्षेत्रमा पनि कर्मचारी तन्त्रले पनि चासोका साथ काम गर्न नसक्ने
कांग्रेसकै बीचमा देखिएका असन्तुष्टिकै संकेतहरू हुन सक्लान् उहाँलाई आएका त्यो आएका संकेत आएका कांग्रेसले नै दिएको संकेत हुन सक्छ सरकारमै सामेल अरु दलहरूले पनि उहाँलाई संकेत दिएको हुन सक्छन्।
While it is natural for the opposition parties to raise questions on the government and the government to defend itself in return, the constant debate between the two leaders regarding tenure of the government has created confusion among the general public and affected good governance and political stability. Nepal government has been making commitments in international forums of net zero carbon by the year 2040. However, preparations are largely inadequate. Despite tax exemptions in electric vehicles, lack of charging stations have been attributed as one of the reasons for lower consumption. Some 2 years ago, Saja Yatayat had launched 40 electric buses. However, none of the other public transportation companies have been able to begin similar operation. A few short-distance electric microbuses with seating capacity of 15 to 20 are in operation. However, their use has not been effective.
यो चार्जिङ स्टेसन चाहिँ देशभरि अझै पनि धेरै प्रमोसन हुनुपर्ने छ र प्राइभेट सेक्टर अझै पनि चार्जिङ स्टेसनको लागि आओस् र विद्युत प्राधिकरणले 50% भन्दा बढी चाहिँ कस्ट चाहिँ चार्जिङ स्टेसनको कस्ट भनेको त्यो ब्रेक अवस्था हो ट्रान्सफर्मर सप्लाई सिस्टम सबै मिलाउँदै 60% हामीले दिनु पर्ने अवस्था छ।
The government has been claiming that it will promote electric vehicles as the domestic energy sector is strong enough. Economists also say the use of EVs in public transportation could help deal with trade deficit. However, even tax incentives have failed to boost the consumption.
सार्वजनिक बसको हकमा चाहिँ जति पनि अहिले भन्सार लिइराखेको छ त्यसमा अझ कमी गर्दिने। अर्को कुरा चार्जिङ स्टेसन निजी क्षेत्र मार्फत सञ्चालन व्यवस्थापन हुने गरी निजी क्षेत्रको लगानी व्यापक हुने गरेर चार्जिङ स्टेसन व्यापक हुने गरेर चाहिँ त्यो एउटा पोलिसी योजना चाहिँ लिएर आउनु पर्यो। अर्को कुरा अब वर्कशप चाहिँ विद्युतीय सवारी साधनको लागि वर्कशप पनि चाहिँ बनाउनलाई वातावरण चाहिँ सृजना हुनु पर्यो।
Government data of recent years suggests 70% of electric vehicles that have been imported have been for personal use. However, of the total public vehicles, just around 20% are EVs, majority of which is electric microbuses with a seating capacity of 15 to 20.
Backup कतिसम्म दिन्छ भन्ने कुरा हो अरुको लागि त सबै ठिकै छ हैन ब्याट्रीको डाउट मात्रै हो अरु त सबै ठिकै छ।
Electric vehicles generally require a battery change in 7 to 10 years. Businesses claim that it can cost around half of the total vehicle's cost when doing so. In addition, the lack of sufficient charging stations, they say, has also discouraged the consumption. In order to increase the use in the public sector, experts say government needs to address existing issues and boost businesses' confidence apart from giving tax concessions. And in our Public Voice segment, we've asked in several provinces what should be done to ensure professional responsibility and security of health professionals. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
सेक्युरिटी इश्यूजहरु हुनु पर्यो। अब तपाईको चाहिँ अब राम्रो माहौल हुनु पर्यो, हेल्दी इन्भाइरोमेन्ट हुनु पर्यो।
आफूले पढे अनुसारको चाहिँ जब चाहिनु पर्यो र जब अनुसारको चाहिँ उसको बेसिक स्यालेरी हुनु पर्यो।
सुरक्षाको कुर्ती दिनलाई सेक्युरिटी गार्ड होला, नजिकैको स्वास्थ्य के रे प्रहरी चौकीहरू चाहिँ हुन सक्छन्।
भारतकै हेर्ने भने पनि अब आकाश र पातलको फरक छ स्यालेरीको हिसाबले चाहिँ नेपालमा। अब त्यो चाहिँ अब गभर्नमेन्टले चाहिँ मजाले म्यानेज गरिदिनु पर्यो।
सरकारले चाहिँ आफ्नो दरबन्दी पदपूर्ति गरेर त्यसमा चाहिँ जनशक्ति खटाएर
चाहिने जति दरबन्दीमा डाक्टर र नर्सको राखिदियो भने सजिलो हुन्छ।
अस्पतालहरूमा काउन्टरहरूमा चाहिँ एउटा सेक्युरिटी हुनुपर्छ, काउन्टरहरूमा पनि आफ्नै सिस्टम हुनुपर्छ। पेसेन्ट र अब डाक्टर नर्सहरूको बिचमा चाहिँ राम्रो कम्युनिकेसन हुनु पर्यो, जसमा चाहिँ उनीहरूले चाहिँ हामीले अब स्वास्थ्य कर्मीहरूले चाहिँ उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ सही कुराहरू चाहिँ भनिदिनु पर्यो।
जस्तै सेक्युरिटीहरू भयो, पुलिस प्रशासनको कामहरू भयो, अनि जनताहरूमा पनि एउटा कुरा तपाईँको चेतना नै कमी छ के।
कानुनले एकदमै कडाभन्दा कडा चाहिँ हुनुपर्छ।
सुरक्षालाई सरकारको एउटा राष्ट्रिय नीति हुनु पर्यो।
It is time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what's your take on the announcement of Minister for Water Supply of ensuring access to all citizens within a year's time? Your options are A, ambitious announcement, B, mayor's speech, and C, what about clean drinking water? The voting is on. Type NAWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has delayed a cabinet vote to approve the Gaza ceasefire deal, accusing Hamas of seeking last-minute changes to the agreement. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said a loose end was being tied up and that he was confident the ceasefire would still begin on Sunday as planned. Although Israeli negotiators agreed to deal after months of talks, it cannot be implemented until it is approved by the Security Cabinet and government. The delay came after Israeli strikes in Gaza following Wednesday's announcement of a deal that killed more than 80 people. A majority of Israeli ministers are expected to back the deal, but Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir said his right-wing party would quit Netanyahu's government if it was approved. However, he has said his Jewish Power Party would not seek to topple the government should the deal be ratified. Meanwhile, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump said the hostage ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas better be finalized before his inauguration on Monday and says his involvement was crucial for the negotiation. The first edition of Nepal Kabaddi League is kicking off in Kathmandu from today. Marquee players of all the 6 teams have expressed confidence in lifting the title of the first ever franchise league. Speaking at the pre-match conference at Dashrath Stadium, coach of Kathmandu Mavericks, Saroj Singh, said his team that includes marquee player Ghanashyam Roka Magar was strong enough for the title contention. Magar has previously played in India's Pro Kabaddi League. Kathmandu Mavericks have 2 Thai and 1 Bangladeshi player. Meanwhile, coach of Pokhara Lakers, Bishnu Datta Bhatta, and marquee player Pradeep Mijar has said their team is strong at boasting players with national and international exposure. The other teams participating in the league are Janakpur Knights, Himalayan Riders, Dhangari Wildcats and Biratnagar Bandits. The inaugural match between Kathmandu Mavericks and Pokhara Lakers has been scheduled for 6:30 p.m. at National Sports Council's covered hall in Tripureshwar today. Quarterfinal matches of Kho-Kho World Cup are to be held today. Nepal's men's and women's national team have both entered into the last 8. The women's team that progressed as the winners of Group C after winning 4 out of 4 games is to play against Iran at 4:30 p.m. for a place in the semi-final. Iran made its place in the quarterfinal as runners-up of Group A. Nepal's men's team made it to the quarterfinal as runners-up of Group A and will play its quarterfinal match against a strong contender Bangladesh at 5:45 p.m. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.